Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Mic Drop. My name is Randy, and this is the Rev.
What's up, y'all?
Rev is here.
Same thing.
Not going to ask how you are.
It never changes.
It never changes. We have a guest today, a special guest today. This guy was on your show a couple of weeks ago. I got to say, Rev's got a room now.
Yes, sir.
You got a show. How many people were there?
I think 9, including me. Yeah, 9.
How many people were there? How many audience members?
Well, 9. That's comics. Are you talking about everything?
Everything.
I don't know.
How many tickets did you sell?
160, 165.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a 20-person room or 15-person room. This was a room.
Yeah. It was a decent turnout, and
he
it was
filled it.
It was a hall.
Yeah,
It's nice.
Yeah, it was.
And that person you're talking is the one and only Byron Brooks. Everybody.
What's up, people?
They're not going to answer you.
I know.
So the audience really liked you at that show. I noticed. Like, that was a lot of Gen X people. They were your people.
Yeah, I mean, I try and do comedy where it's relatable for all ages. But generally, people around my age like it a lot more. So, yeah, that crowd was almost perfect for me.
How about that?
Yeah.
I had you in mind.
Yeah.
You know how to stock a room.
Yes, sir.
Now, I also saw that you do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
I do. Been doing it for 16 years now.
There's a lot of parallels between that and comedy, aren't there?
Yes, a lot. I mean, just the competition aspect, getting prepared for a fight or a match is basically the same feeling you have when you're getting prepared for a big show or something like that. And just like now, after competing for a while and getting used to it, you don't get those jitters just like in comedy. Like, I don't really get those jitters up on stage or right before. No,
Every time I get it. Yeah. Every time.
I feel like the more you're behind that microphone, the less nervous you get.
And see, the times that I didn't have jitters, I fucking bombed. I was too cocky.
Wow. So the jitters helped you.
It did, but I don't like it. It's that feel. I don't like that anxious feel. But you don't get it?
I don't get it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. And same thing when I was competing, like, regularly at Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
After about a year of regular competing, I didn't get nervous before I walked out there.
Do you find some type of a zen with?
It's just another day in the office for me. It literally is. It's just like, I did this yesterday. I did this, in practice the other day, and go in here and have some fun.
How about you? Do you get jitters?
I'm like you. Like, I will get jitters sometimes, but then other times I won't. The times I won't is when I'm doing it consistently. Mm-hmm. And then it's like he said, it's another day in the office. It's like, all right, I got my material down. I've memorized all my different bits. I don't, but like I have a show coming up for this Friday for Beer Run comedy. I've already got the jitters for it. So I'm going to practice a whole lot so I don't.
So, I'm not going to say I never get the jitters because you just brought a good point. If it's something I find important, I will get a little bit of jitters. Like if I'm about to do a comedy competition, then I'll get the jitters.
So at my show, did you have any jitters?
Nah.
That's f***ed up. He found no importance in that. No importance.
Well, it was a great show, man. I walked in and I saw the people and I'm like, hey, these are my people.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were.
That's my people.
It was a good crowd. Here's the golden question. Which one, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or comedy, is harder?
Comedy.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know how profound that is? You know who Maynard James Keenan is?
No.
Lead singer of Tool, the band Tool. He said, he's been the lead singer of the band Tool for, as long as they've been around. He said Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is the hardest thing he's ever done. So that really says something.
Well, physically, yeah. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But mentally, no, nothing has hit me mentally like comedy. Like it's like a brain fuck sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I like you said, parallels between comedy and jiu-jitsu. Like, you got to check yourself every once in a while because, like, I'll say something like coming up, why does this person got a purple belt and I didn't get the purple belt? It's the same exact thing as, why did this guy get that show and I don't get that show? I'm just as funny as him. You know what I mean? So, like, I was able to navigate, because of jiu-jitsu, I was able to navigate comedy a lot better. But I find those hiccups in my mental, like it's a brain fuck. Yeah, like
so is it more on the business end and not the art end of it?
Both of them. I think both of them are harder.
Okay.
Because you know, like I can go and have a bad day at the gym.
Yeah.
And be perfectly fine. I can go and bomb on stage and I'm fucked up for a couple days.
Oh, it'll get in your head.
Yeah. I'm fucked up for a couple days. Like at least until I get back on stage and, you know, redeem myself. But yeah, like.
Because you did it in front of people.
Exactly.
In the gym, it was just you and your partner.
It's just me and my partner. You know, I go home, pet my cat, you know. You know. But yeah, let's go. Bombing,
and that's what I'm thinking. Like
way worse than losing.
The thing about with studying martial arts and going through that journey, and comedy and going through that journey, there are times where you feel like you've got it mastered, and then it just kicks your ass.
And
it
somebody
humbles
you and brings you right back down to earth. Yep, absolutely. But same thing could be said about jiu-jitsu. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Both,
yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm a black belt, but there are black belts who whoop my ass, like. Treat me like I'm a white belt, you know, and sometimes I can, you know, I'm one of the best guys in my gym, but every once in a while somebody will come up and be like, there's always somebody better than you.
Is there something that you specialize with in jiu-jitsu? Like that's your thing. That's what Byron's known for.
Leg locks. And I'm a gi guy. I do like no gi, but I call myself a leg locking gi guy. I have every attack on the leg that's legal in the gi, I generally go for.
Right. Oh, there are illegal ones?
Yeah. Because in no gi, you can't. In no gi, you can do a lot more to the person's legs than you can in gi. Because you're wearing the gi. Their excuse is it's harder to escape, and your legs get trapped, which I think is. You know, but in the gi, because it's all slippery, you can do heel hooks and twisting type stuff.
Damn, they are nasty. Yeah. You ever had that done to you?
Hell no, man. I'm not.
It's not fun. No. Well, I guess it is fun.
No, none of that sounds fun.
I've seen pride fights where this one guy, he would not tap, and you heard his leg snap. It like echoed throughout the stadium. The snap of his leg. It was worse than a horror movie.
That's crazy.
Ever had any of that happen? Broken bones in competition?
And I've never broken anybody's bones in competition. I've never had any of, because I don't want to get hurt. You know what I mean? I don't have the ego to where I'm just like, break my arm for a $5 medal. You know what I mean? You got me.
Right.
You know,
you're gonna tap.
I'm gonna tap. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sleep. I'm not, waiting until the last minute. And I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna apply a submission, I'm gonna do it fast, but I'm also gonna do it slow enough that you can tap. Now, there has been times in practice where I've gotten into it with people,
right,
and things went a little, people got injured.
Because their egos came out?
Yeah, because egos and things come out, but never in competition. No.
Nah, man. If I'm tapping 911.
Yeah.
Get this motherfucker right there.
Calling the police.
He's got me in the leg lock right there. It's already broken 5 bones in my foot. Get this motherfucker. He should be on the stage telling jokes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's your specialty in jiu-jitsu. What is your specialty in comedy?
I am the basic. I call myself the basic setup punchline guy. It may not seem like it, but all of my jokes come from basic setup and basic punchline, and then I expand off of it. So I never go into writing a joke with the idea of I'm going to talk about this. I already have a punchline that I've thought up, so now let's think of the setup.
Trying to get there, right?
You know what I mean? That's how do I get to this funny part? Right. Or I have a setup, and how do I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything goes around my setup and punchline. So if it has something to do with something in my life, I'll put those two together and make a joke about it. But like I said, I never go into a joke being like, I want to talk about what's going on in the news today, or I want to talk about P. Diddy, or I want to talk about
No talking points.
I make a joke, and then I expand from it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
You know, one of the funniest jokes I've heard you do, and I've only heard you do it once, was the Thor joke when
Waffle House.
The Waffle House. That's I saw you do it once, and that's the only time. And I thought that was a funny, and it was time. The time was right, but it's still funny ass joke. It's funny ass joke. You gotta check it out. Do you do that joke anymore?
I still I do that in my longer sets. If I get like a 20-minute set, I'll do that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was clever.
It's a timeless joke too, because everybody knows everybody fights at Waffle House. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So, right.
Yeah.
But the picture of just Thor,
Thor's hammer,
coming right back. That shit was funny. It was clever. I like that.
Yeah.
And you mainly talk about your family.
Yeah, generally, yeah. I would say 50% of my comedy is about I key it back into my family. Yeah.
And your wife's okay with you talking about her?
She was at the show last night. She was at my show last night, man. She's okay with me talking about her, but she doesn't like me if she comes to a show, me pointing her out or telling people she's in the audience.
Oh, okay.
Which I will do because I like, tormenting her.
Of course.
But she's actually very, very supportive, extremely proud of my comedy. She thinks
that's great.
She thinks I'm funny, which is weird. What your wife thinks you're funny. But yeah. I mean, I couldn't do this without her, really, honestly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I really couldn't. Yeah. But she doesn't like to be pointed out.
That's great. And she's white, right?
Yes. Yep. She is white. Yep. Renaissance Festival.
I'm trying to figure out, why did you make a point to say that?
I met her on farmersonly.com. Just joking. But yeah, she's cool. She really is cool. She misses me sometimes because I'm out all the time, but I try and balance life and comedy and jiu-jitsu and as much as possible. I always say, if my son's a swimmer, so anytime he has a meet or he needs to be taken to practice or something like that, I will drop everything, because he comes first, man. That's gigs are going to be there. Jiu-jitsu is always going to be there. So,
right.
I got to make sure that I take care of family too.
You don't miss those moments.
Yep, absolutely.
So how do you get along with your son?
He is the comedian of the house. He's the funniest person in the house.
Are you allowed to take material from him?
Yes, I have taken material from him. I have absolutely taken material from him. He's like one time he came home and he was like, "Dad, I made this girl laugh so hard at recess she peed herself." And I was like, "Well, tell me the joke." And he goes, "All right, I'm gonna tell you the joke." He goes, "Knock, knock." And I was like, "Get out of here with that knock, knock shit." I've died in front of 7 people in front of crowds, and he's over here killing with a knock, knock joke. But yeah, man, he's the comedian of the family.
Wow.
He's so quick with it. So quick with it. Like, I said something the other day, and it was something like, I forget what it was, but it was something where I said kids. And he looked at me just and he was like, "That's awfully P. Diddy of you, Dad." And I was like, how does he's 13 years old. He just comes up with this stuff.
Yeah, he's going to do all right.
So yeah, he's going to. Yeah. But he hasn't seen any of my material, but he definitely, he's the sarcastic one. He's like, "Yeah, Dad's going out to bomb tonight." Like he'll. Yeah.
See, that would get in my head.
Yeah. He's a good kid though.
And how much of seducing a woman is being funny? It's got to be like 90%. No,
Is it?
I never would have pulled my wife if I wasn't funny with her. If I didn't make her laugh, she'd have moved on.
You think?
I didn't have much more to offer.
I don't know how I got my wife, honestly. I really don't know how I got my wife. She found me, but I don't know what. At the time, I wasn't really doing much. I worked at Macy's.
Right.
I had a condo, which was kind of cool, but yeah, I wasn't really doing much of my life at all. Yeah.
What'd you do at Macy's?
I was just manager, the polo manager.
Okay, you were the boss.
Yeah,
That's something.
Yeah, one of the department bosses, managers, but it was they didn't pay. They paid me like $9 an hour. It was my first job I got when I moved to Maryland. Yep. When I met her, she was friends with one of my coworkers, and we would go out, and she'd be there, and we had known each other for almost 2 or 3 years before we even started dating. So yeah. Yep.
You said moved to Maryland. Where were you before this?
Originally, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Yeah,
I moved. Come from Carolina.
Yeah, I moved up here when I was 23 years old.
Wow.
2003.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
And you get booked a lot.
I do.
Your name should be Byron Brooks.
I do, man. I do. I try. You just got to stay in people's ears.
So what's your secret? So you said stay in people's ears. Are you constantly like giving people your video or?
Look, I'll say this for any comic that's listening. For me, it was finding something else I can offer people that wasn't just being funny. Because there's tons of funny people in the scene. What else can you offer to these people that'll at least get your name out there? That can get you in the, and I thought to myself, I was like, I'm good at graphic design, so why don't I start doing graphic design for some of these comedians? And I started meeting new comedians, doing flyers for them and things like that. And then, they'd be like, hey, you're a comedian, why don't you get on the show? Or, things like that. So sometimes it's not just being funny. This is a give and take type of industry. It really is. And if you can find something else to offer, that'll help you get booked. Things like running shows. That's something that, besides being funny, that you can offer to other comedians. For me, it was my graphic design.
It's the bartering system.
Yep, it's the bartering system. Yep.
Because I've noticed, what kind of stuff would you design?
Flyers. I've done merch for comedians, design T-shirts and things like that. And then, you do 1 or 2 things for them, and then you go, hey, man, you got a guest spot on that show? Like, a lot of times somebody will send me a flyer. Hey, I'm having this show. I'll make the flyer for it.
Oh, and you ask if they have a guest spot?
You got an extra 5 minutes on this show?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after a while, and then when you go in there and you're actually funny, they just start,
The next time you can feature?
Next time you feature, they'll just out of the blue, hey, man, can you do this time?
You get on their roster that way.
You get on the roster. You gotta keep your face in people's faces, and you can't expect to get booked if no one knows who you are. Like, people get mad because they don't get in certain comedy clubs, but how do they know you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got to do their contests. You got to do their open mics.
Exactly. Yep.
If you have nothing else to offer.
Yep. The best way to get into Magoobies is do the contest. You don't have to win the contest, but if you do the contest enough and Andrew sees you, he will book you.
You do the contest enough, so you should do it like more than once.
Yeah, you should do it. I would say do it more than once. Yep. But he'll see. Oh, this person really takes this. He's not winning, but he's taking this comedy thing seriously. And I get to see him live do his thing.
In the element.
If you just send 5-10 minutes, even if you're killing to a major comedy club, we want to see you live.
When's the last time you played Magoobies?
3 years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
In the contest or in a show?
And I got to host one time.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep, got to host one time. But haven't since. But there's other comedy clubs that
You're at the Port?
Yeah, I'm regular at the Port. I actually work at the Port.
You work there?
I work there. I'm one of the door guys.
Oh, now what came first, the job or the gigs?
The gigs.
So the gigs came.
I've been at the Port. I've been a regular at the Port since day one. They called me the first week they opened and was like, "Hey, you were on our list of people we really wanted at the club. You know, we have 2 shows for you, and then I've been a regular there ever since. And I just started, which has been a blessing. He got in contact with me about 2 months ago and was like, we need door guys. You know, do you have spare time, you know, to be
security?
Basically, yeah. I check people in and I'm security. I walk the back. I tell people to stop talking when they're talking and things like that.
Any incidents?
Yeah. Not like violent incidents, but there's definitely been drunk people where you've had to tell them, hey, we're recording. You got to be quiet. You know, if you don't be quiet, we're going to have to ask you to leave. If you don't leave, we're going to have to trespass you. You know, so you try and handle it civilly, you know.
And it's always been...
It's been good, man.
Done civilly, like concluded civilly? One
thing I've noticed is people who are paying for tickets to see a comedy show generally behave themselves. It's when you have free showcases and things like that where people are just coming in for free, they haven't done any research on the comics or anything like that. Those are the ones you got to watch out for, because they'll just come in and get drunk and just disrupt the show.
Yeah.
You know, but generally, like on a weekend show where there's a headliner, those audiences, they know how to behave themselves. You know, there's generally never any issues.
So you calmly walk up to somebody and say, listen, we have a show going on.
Yeah. I walk up and I'm like, hey, guys, we're recording, and the microphones can pick up your hearing, so could you keep your talking to a minimum? And I just leave it at that. And usually that's all it takes, unless they're belligerently drunk. And then it's like, look, man, we're gonna have to ask you to leave if you don't stop.
Yeah.
So if you play the Port, can you play Magoobies?
Yeah. That's the name of the game, is try and get into as many comedy clubs as possible. So I'm a regular at the Port. I'm also a regular at the DC Comedy Loft. I'm there. One of those places generally, once or twice a month.
But is there any hidden rules and regulations? Like if you play Magoobies, you can't play anywhere else?
No. Not that I know of.
Okay.
You know something I don't know?
There used to be rumors of that.
No, that Matt Hurley and Andrew Unger are very good friends.
That's good.
They work together. I mean, Andrew books Matt all the time.
Okay.
So, that's owner booking an owner for his club.
Yeah.
So there's no animosity there.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
You ever turn away bookings? Like, do you ever get overbooked where you're like, I'm missing time with my family?
Yes, but very, very seldom. I very seldom will turn that. Usually it's because, one, I'm already booked on that date, or I have a vacation I've planned, or but that's pretty much the extent of me. Through my 6 years, I've maybe turned down 3 or 4 gigs.
Damn.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah, and most of the time it was because I was already booked.
Oh, okay. You didn't want to get double booked.
Yeah, I didn't want to get double booked. Yeah. Yep.
Damn. Must be nice. I like it.
So how do you like your age group?
I like my age group.
Like, how do you like being? I know you're the middle age. I've seen your videos.
Yeah, I like it. I like being I'm too old though, man. I do young
for
man.
What?
I do young man things, man.
So do I.
So I like I go to heavy metal concerts. You go to heavy metal concerts.
I go to concerts.
You go to
more techno indie concerts, but I go. I just went to a week and a half ago to one.
Okay, but do you physically I get in the mosh pit? Like
I would. My son doesn't like to get up front. I would be right up front. I'd be all in the mix if I could.
Yeah.
But who was the last band you saw?
Slipknot.
Oh, you were in the pit for Slipknot. Well, I mean, see, but you can. Yeah. You're a black belt. It doesn't matter if you're like Ed O'Neill could, and he's like in his 60s. He's a black belt. I don't think I would get in the pit at Slipknot myself, but if I had that kind of martial arts background, I would.
But yeah, I should be doing that at 44. You know what I mean?
Yes, you should. Absolutely should. You should be lifting weights. You should be doing everything. Absolutely. You were at a show recently, weren't you, Rev?
It wasn't Slipknot.
Who was it?
KRS.
Oh, okay. Is that KRS-One? Mm-hmm. Same person?
Where was that at?
Soundstage.
Nice, man. I bet you that was good.
No, you actually liked the post.
Yeah.
They were advertising the concert.
Yeah, man, that must have been good. I bet you that was really good.
The energy.
I bet it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
He's got a lot of videos of him just giving advice.
Yep.
And all of it is excellent. Like I just send it to my kids.
Yeah, he's a book of wisdom, man.
He really is.
He really is.
Love that guy. I love that he's still doing it.
Yeah.
At 60.
He's 60? Damn.
Wow.
I mean, the Rolling Stones are what, in their...
Yeah, the 80s.
I'm waiting for them to just die on stage. I thought the rule was better to burn out than fade away.
Yeah.
Those people are they're fading away, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some of them are just still going strong. 9 Inch Nails is coming back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, 9 Inch Nails is coming back, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
But there's no way he's going to have the same energy he had in like 1989.
Well, it's electronic music, you know.
He would like drink a whole pre-workout like tub. Mm-hmm. He would talk about before his shows. That would just give me arrhythmia at this point. Don't you think?
I don't know what y'all talking about.
You don't know who 9 Inch Nails are?
Not at all. No.
No. You're just into old school hip hop, aren't you?
No. I just don't know anything about 9-inch nails and 12-inch nails and
12-inch nails,
quarter-inch screws. I don't know none of that shit.
I don't like quarter-inch screws. They're no good.
I listen to everything, man. Like I listen to jazz and stuff. Like,
wow.
Yeah. I used to be a musician, so like anything with the beat.
I think a better question is what haven't you done?
Had sex with an Asian girl. There we go.
Well, that's me neither.
That's about it.
That's it. Oh boy. What instrument did you play?
Right now I play the drums, but I grew up playing the piano because I hated it. My dad and my parents made me play the piano from the time I was like 6 to 12. And then I shied away from music because I was just like, that was traumatic to me for some reason. Mm-hmm. And then when I got in high school, I picked up a bass guitar. And then I learned electric guitar. And then I would say I've always played drums, but I've always lived in an area where playing drums is frowned upon, you know, because I was living in apartments, condos, things where, you know, and then I finally got the house with my wife, and I've been playing drums ever since.
All right, better question.
Yeah.
What instrument haven't you played?
Anything that's
bass
like...
flute?
Yeah, I never played that.
Bass clarinet?
Never played that.
I'm one up on you.
Yeah. Any like high school band type instruments I haven't played. So like no saxophones and trumpets and shit. You know, but the basic drums, guitar, bass, I know how to play.
I mean, you got that. You got an iPhone. Is that an iPhone?
That is an iPhone.
You could make your own album now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Lots of people are with just an iPhone.
Yeah.
You got your own comedy album, right?
Yeah, I do. Right. I do. Yep, called Comedy and Magic. You can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, that's your comedy album?
Well, it's a
special?
Special. Yeah.
Where was it recorded?
At the Port.
I have to watch that because I skipped over that because I thought there was literally going to be magic in it. Like,
no, the reason I called it Comedy and Magic is because it was actually a dual headlining, and the other guy who was headlining was a magician.
Okay.
So I went and I did 30 minutes, and then he did 30 minutes. Yeah, so that's why I call it Comedy and Magic. And plus, my last joke it ends on a magic joke.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do they mix well, comedy and magic?
Absolutely.
Because I don't think comedy and music do.
But no, comedy and magic mix very well. One rule: if anybody's ever going to do a comedy and magic show, comedy cannot follow magic. It's impossible. I don't care how funny you are. You can't follow somebody who just made somebody disappear. You know what I mean? So if you're ever going to do a comedy and magic show, always have the magic glass. Yeah.
How did we get onto this? To music?
My special. Oh, my music? That's good. I have no idea.
Because we're talking about getting older.
Oh, just the music we were listening to, jazz. And, you know, I was like, I listen to all types of music because I was a musician.
Oh, right.
Yeah, most of my life.
Right. Now, you also talked about RuPaul. Is any of that true?
That is so true. Yeah, that is true. That is 100% true. I used to literally, like MTV when that, what was it? You Better Work song that she had. I would literally call my friends and be like, "Yo, that girl RuPaul is on. She's so hot." And like I had no clue until like years later. They were like, "You know, RuPaul's a guy, right?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, "You know, RuPaul's a guy, right?" I'm like, "I don't really care what kind of car she likes to drive in her spare time." Nah, but yeah, that's a true story. That's a true story.
That's really funny because I get fooled all the time. Yeah. My wife was watching some kind of beauty pageant. I walked in the room and I saw this one woman. I said, "I'm sorry, that is one of the most hottest women I've ever seen in my life."
Like, yeah, that's a dude.
She wasn't mad at all. She's like, "Oh, really? What do you like about her?" I'm like, "Man, look at her legs and everything." She's not mad at all. Just tell me more. What else you like about her? I'm like, "I'm sorry, am I making you mad?" She's like, "No, that's a man." And it wasn't like a trans woman who was a man.
It was a drag queen.
It was a man dressed up as a woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I just figured, I don't know even what made me think of that. And I was like, let me make a joke out of that because it's got to be funny. I think I was talking to my old friend, like, you remember that time we thought RuPaul was actually a woman?
Yeah, like the whole the drag word.
Yeah.
When you turned it into.
I didn't know. I was so young. I didn't know what drag was. You know what I mean? So I just thought it was a tall woman,
I think she fooled a lot of people.
I bet. Especially that, what's that, like early 90s? Probably.
When she was hot? Yeah, something like that.
She was hot.
I mean, like popular.
Yeah.
She's still hot. Only when she's dressed up, though.
Yeah.
Not as a man. Not interested. So you have any big shows coming up?
DC Comedy Loft next Sunday with Bo Johnson. He's from national headliner from Seattle. I'll be opening up for him. I just finished opening up for him last week as well. I did 4 shows at the Port with him.
How much time did you do?
Different, because Friday night I did the first show because there was a guest spot. I did 5 minutes. The second show I did 8 minutes. The first show on Saturday I think I did 7 minutes, and then the late show I did almost 10 minutes. So yeah, it's whatever. He's got to fill in his time. He wanted to do 55.
Right.
So you got to adjust your time according to the headliner. But he liked me a lot, and he was like, "I'm coming back into the area. If you want to host again for me." So I'll be with him again at the DC Comedy Loft next Sunday.
Where is that?
That is I don't know. I just go there, so I'm not too familiar with the areas in DC, but it's central DC. It's in the city. It's very close. I would say 1 mile away from the DC Improv, if you've ever been there.
Yeah.
It's very close to the Improv.
How many people does it seat?
It has two areas. So the downstairs, I believe, seats like 60 or 70, and then the upstairs seats 150.
When you say the upstairs, is it like a...
So they have a big room and a little room, basically.
Oh, they have 2 rooms.
They have 2 rooms.
2 completely different rooms. It's not like...
and they'll run shows in both.
Not like the Hippodrome.
No.
I gotcha.
Yeah, they run shows in both rooms.
Wow.
Yeah, so they'll have two national headliners a weekend there. One in the small room, one in the big room.
Gotcha.
That's good club, man. Actually, if you're ever in that area, check it out.
Do you have a favorite?
Not really. I'm just happy to be in a club. They're all cool, man. They're all cool. I've Good Nights in North Carolina is really, really nice club. That was dope. Magoobies is dope. Port is dope. I think size-wise, I'll say size-wise, the Port is perfect because you get about 90 people in there, but every seat is a good seat. Where some of these places are like really big, and it's kind of like you lose. Like sometimes, like where was it that I was at? I don't know, it's like a 200-seater. And, you know, I'm in the mid, and I can see the stage, but then there's so much going on around you that it takes you kind of out of the show. You don't get that with these 100-seaters, these 60-seaters, things like that. Like, you're fully engaged the whole time. So I wouldn't say I don't have a specific club that's my favorite, but I do have a specific number of people I like to do comedy in front of. I think, you know, that round 100 is perfect.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You ever do the Comedy Factory?
No. They ain't letting me in there. They ain't letting me in there.
Is that place still active?
Yes.
I never see any advertisements for it or anything anymore.
No, I'm not their style of comedy.
Alabama still runs that, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you're not their style of comedy? What's their style of comedy? Last I saw, they were pretty general.
No, that's an urban room now. That's pretty much all black comedians. Not that I'm not black, but I don't do what they do.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Do they not have the yearly contest anymore?
I don't know if they have it. No, I don't think they do.
Because that was fun.
I don't think they do. Yeah.
They used to have a funniest person in Baltimore contest.
Yeah, it's a good club, but yeah, it's just they ain't inviting me there anytime soon.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not their type of people, which I've not heard about because I don't necessarily.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a black room. I just knew
that's
it was a
pretty
room.
much strictly urban.
Is that right?
Room.
Yeah.
Pretty much strictly urban room.
Shit, I'd love to get in that room too, but a bunch of other rooms.
Yeah.
That must have changed in the past 10, 15 years or so.
I would say within the past 6 or 7 years. Because I remember going there and seeing Bert Kreischer, and like it was, you know, like a regular room, but then it changed. Yeah, changed to new management, new booker.
Okay,
it's doing really well. You know, they're doing their thing, but yeah, they ain't booking me anytime soon.
Gotcha. Well, you seem to be doing pretty well without everywhere else.
Yeah.
And the Port is like the new. How long has that been around?
2 years?
Yeah,
don't quote me. 2 or 3 years.
But it hasn't been around forever.
Yeah, I want to say 2.5 or something like that.
And they have a contest, right?
Yeah, they have a contest.
Is it weekly or monthly? Monthly contest.
Monthly, yep. That's the best way. That's the best way to get into the Port right now is just do that contest.
How many comedians are on the contest?
I think they do 10. Yeah, I think they do 10.
It's on Sundays?
Thursdays. Well, it depends on the month and what's going on. But I think it's Thursday nights, once a month.
Yeah, those are fun. And you're right, even if you don't win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want to get into a place or at least get your face known, do a contest. I don't like contests, but yeah, do a contest.
Because a lot of them are bringers.
Yeah, that's one of the thing. Like, I'm not the type of person who's going to be like, hey, can you come? I'm not going to beg anybody to come out and see me. If you want to come see me, you come see me. I'm not begging anybody. Can
you still do a contest if you bring like one person? Can you still do it?
It depends on the contest. Like the Harrisburg comedy
zone.
Harrisburg Comedy Zone, you can do the contest without bringing anybody. Yeah. And they're pretty fair about judging too. Like,
is it a judge contest or audience vote?
It's audience, but it's write down. Like, they write down, check off who you like. It's probably one of the fairest contests I've participated in. But yeah, definitely. And then that Cult Classic contest is really good.
Oh, they got a contest down there now?
Yeah. Chris Pierce is talk to Chris. He'll get you on. They're still going.
I don't do contests.
You don't do contests? Yeah. But I judged the first one, and it might have been the best talent I've seen at a contest.
At Cult Classic?
At Cult Classic. Like, everybody who went up was murderers. Like, I mean, it was like Tom Nunny, Bill Monahan.
Oh, okay.
Like, Parker Brown. Like, everybody was solid comedians. Like, yeah, that's a good contest.
Yeah, those three right there.
Yeah.
That would give me the jitters.
Yeah.
All right, we have anything you want to promote coming up?
Not really. Just follow me on social media. Byron Brooks Comedy on everything. Go to YouTube. Check out Comedy and Magic. We did it on St. Patrick's Day of last year. So I will be putting out another 30-minute special sometime this year. I plan on doing one every year. New material, of course. But yeah, just check me out.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Rev. Anything from you?
March 22nd, Island Green in Westminster. I'm headlining.
And April 12th.
Nice.
Yeah, April 12th.
And where's that?
That's at the American Legion. That's that last show we did. Yeah.
That's the one with the host, what, 160 people, something like that?
165.
Yeah, I mean, he was bringing out new tables and chairs for that last one.
That was fire.
Yeah.
That was a great show. That was so good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Byron.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, the Rev.
All right, y'all.
Talk to you soon.
All right.